The next problem a student asked me to look at from the test review was problem number 10. And the directions are to solve the equation. And it is 32c cubed minus 16c squared minus 18c plus 9. So how many terms is this polynomial? This polynomial is 4 terms. And it's not like it's 4 terms and there are like terms that can be combined. These are not like terms. This is a 4-term polynomial. Now, if it were a 3-term polynomial, that's a trinomial. We have a different way that we can factor that, but a 4-term polynomial, we're going to factor it by grouping. So I'll group the front and the back together. And let's pay attention to the front really quickly. You're looking for a GCF, 32 and 16. You can pull out a common number of 16 from those, and you have a c cubed and a c squared. So you can take out a c and you want to take it out to the lowest power in which you see it. So there was a cubed and a squared, we're going to take out a c squared. So if I take out a 16c squared from 32c cubed, what you're saying to see what is left is 32c cubed divided by 16c squared. So 32 divided by 16 is 2, and c cubed divided by c squared is just c. If you take 2 c's away from 3 c's, you're left with 1, okay? And now we want to say negative 16c squared divided by 16c squared, and that's, negative divided by negative of something divided by itself, so just minus 1. Forget about what we just did right there for a second, and let's pay attention to the next binomial, okay? You have a negative 18c and a positive 9. Well, the leading coefficient is negative, so you definitely want to take out a negative. And then 18 and 9 have a common number of 9, and we can't take out a variable. So if we take out a negative 9 from negative 18c and positive 9, you're saying negative 18c divided by negative 9 to get positive 2, and you're left with a variable of c. And now you're saying positive 9 divided by negative 9, and you get negative 1. So when you factor by grouping, what you should be left with, if you've done it correctly, is the same thing. Since I'm left with the same thing, 2c minus 1, I can take that out. And if you take that out, what are you left with? 16c squared minus 9 equals 0. So we've done some factoring at this point. Now, I do want to continue to look at these two binomials to see if those binomials factor any further, and I'm thinking one of them may, because our original function was cubed, and when I solve a cubic, there is 3 answers, and right now all I have is 2 factors. So it makes me suspicious to see if maybe one of them factors further. So looking at 2c minus 1, I can't pull out a GCF from that. There's not one of the binomial formulas that I can apply to it, but 16c squared minus 9, I can apply the formula of if you have a squared minus a b squared, it factors into a plus b and a minus b. That's a difference of squares. So the 2c minus 1, again, does not factor. I'm going to copy paste it back down, and I meant to put that in a different color, 2c minus 1. And I'm going to put a plus and minus, copying it from this formula right here. And I'm going to take the square root of 16c squared, which is 4c. I'm going to take the square root of the 9 and get 3. And now we are fully factored. I want to set each of those factors equal to 0, and we will have our solution. So 2c minus 1 equals 0. You add the 1 to both sides. You get 1 equals 2c, and you're solving for c. 2 times c, so divide by what you don't want. You don't want the 2 there. So c equals 1/2. 4c plus 3 equals 0. Subtract the 3 from both sides. You get negative 3 equals 4c. Divide by what you don't want. You don't want the 4. You just want the c. Negative 3/4. And the other is going to be positive 3/4 from solving this right here. So there is our 3 solutions.